Hello everyone. In the last video we discussed about the definition meaning of psychology. And in this video we are going to discuss about the history of psychology. We know that psychology is an existing subject. And you should have a doubt, then why should we learn the history of psychology? It is because of the history of a particular subject or the history of a psychology definitely offers an opportunity to know how it has grown and developed, and it also provides perspective about the particular subject, and it also allow us to reduce the repeating errors in the scientific research. In the earlier period, psychology was a part of philosophy. That is, its roots came from the field of philosophy. We consider the great philosophers such as Socrates, Aristotle, Plato as the early psychologists. Socrates, the great philosopher, great Greek philosopher who lived in the period of 469 to 399 BC, often cited as one of the first psychologists. Socrates suggested soul was separate from the body. Soul was separate from the body. The concept later defined by René Descartes, the French philosopher, as dualism. Socrates most likely believed that the morality, the intelligence were innate. That is, the morality and intelligence were within the human being by birth. And Plato, the student of Socrates, believed that the brain is the seat of mental process. Plato, the student of Socrates, believed that brain is the seat of mental process, and he had the same opinion of Socrates. While another philosopher, Aristotle, thought that every child was born as a clean slate and knowledge was acquired through learning. And he also suggested that heart is the seat of mental process. While another Greek philosopher, Hippocrates, believed that bodily fluids determine the nature of the human. That is, the balance or imbalance of the bodily fluid determine whether a man is normal or abnormal. Depending upon the condition of the bodily fluids determine the normality or abnormality of the particular person. Okay. Until the late 18th century, psychology did not emerge as a scientific discipline. During the 17th century, René Descartes, the French philosopher, introduced another concept, dualism. We earlier mentioned about the concepts. Dualism asserted that the mind and body were two entities which interact each other to form human experiences. Okay? Mind and body were two different entities which interact each other to form human experiences, and the interaction through the pineal gland. Okay? The interaction through the pineal gland. Okay? The pineal gland is situated deep within the brain. Okay, this is the concept of dualism by René Descartes. Okay, the same concept once mentioned by Socrates. The philosophers also suggested another concept, which is interactionism. The view interactionism suggested that mind can influence body and the body can influence the mind. Okay, and many other changes or many other concepts arised in psychology. We just discussed the important concepts of in the important concept in the history of psychology. Then, physiology also contributed to psychology's eventual emergence as a scientific discipline. Early physiological research on brain and behavior had a great impact on the history of psychology. Johannes Miller described electric signals were conducted by nerves within the body. Then Hermann von Helmholtz showed receptors in the eye or ears receive and interpret the sensation from the outside world. Gustav Fechner, German physicist and philosopher and experimental psychologist, demonstrated that our perceptions of physical stimuli, that how we perceive, what kind of changes when we perceive a physical stimuli. What is perception? Perception is nothing but it is the meaningful interpretation of any physical stimuli, not physical stimuli, any stimuli. So when we hear a voice, when someone touched us, we sensed and interpret the sensation. Okay, what does it and what kind of touch, whether it is cold or heat, or the voice is loud or low, and what they said, all these things are we interpreted. So we can say this is perception. Gustav Fechner demonstrated that our perception of physical stimuli, okay, he is considered as the founder of psychophysics. Then by 1879, William Wundt had founded a psychological laboratory for research. It is for research, which was the first psychological laboratory, and it is at the University of Leipzig. Because of this, he is considered as the first experimental psychologist. And this event is gradually considered the official beginning of the psychology as a distinct and separate scientific discipline. And he perceived the subject as the study of human consciousness. He perceived the subject as the study of human consciousness. One of the Wundt student, Graham G. Stanley Hall, was influential to bringing the psychology into United States. Founded the first psychological laboratory at United States in 1883. He helped to start the American Psychological Association in 1892. Then he became the first president of American Psychological Association. Then psychology was a big hit in the United States. By 1893, 24 US universities had established psychological laboratories. At this time, psychology split into two main divisions, two main schools, which are structuralism and functionalism. Structuralism were led by Edwin Titchener. Edwin Titchener was the student of Wundt. He moved to US and began to teaching at Carvel University in 1892. He started an area of research that is structuralism. Structuralists believed that the task of psychology was to analyze consciousness into the basic elements and study how these were related. These elements would include ideas like sensation, emotion, and images. The first thought of psychology. Okay. There are many other schools of psychology which are functionalism, behaviorism, etc. We will discuss the other schools of psychology in the next video. Thank you for watching my video.